He went to München. There were 1 million people. Everybody who survived was in München. Luckily, he meets somebody on the street. And he said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I want to go, register in America. I have friends there. They sent me a letter." Helen Kenny wrote us a letter, but not here, when we were already in Stuttgart. And he says, "You know what? There is another embassy in Stuttgart. A miserable woman is there. She only wants to take single men. She says, we have plenty of girls in America. We don't want no women. We just want men. You two good-looking men, go tell them you don't have a wife and register." Sure enough, took Lajos, went to register, but before they registered, they found out there was a Holland guy who worked with this woman, because not everybody spoke English, and he was the translator from German to English. Paid him off. The two men went to register and said, "I'm going to register you so that I'm going to leave a little space under, a little bit more space than everybody, That's how I register you. In a few weeks, that woman will go for a week of vacation, bring your wives in." And I signed them in under it. She doesn't look, because after that were another 100 signatures. And we became very good friends, because, in Stuttgart, me is me. I started to run a big house and everything, and cook and make dinner for him, and the men were giving him this and that, and that's how we got on. And that's how we came to America so much earlier than all the others. We were one of the first ones, and we came on a Navy ship who used to send the soldiers. Anyway, the women were on one deck, the men were the other deck. It was February. The ocean was wild, was throwing us up and down like you never saw in your life. 90% of the people were never sick. Everybody was sick. And they all went up to the deck. Luckily, my husband and I, we never were seasick. One day I go up on the deck and I see a little boy, 5, 6 years old, maybe 7, going around crying, and nobody pays any attention. I take this little boy. He spoke Jewish, and I spoke German. That time I only spoke German. I learned Jewish in America, but I understood everything. And he understood me. Little, beautiful little boy, all alone. They put him on the ship, and somebody is waiting, a rabbi is waiting for him in New York. He was hidden by Goyim, and they got in touch something with the Goyim, and the Goyim put that little kid alone on the ship in Bremenhaven. I took this little kid, and I took care of him, and he was so happy. I can't tell you that he found somebody. Now, what happened? My husband and I weren't seasick, and in the kitchen, in the dinner, they used to serve food. Everything was straight. So my husband went over to the chef and said, "I'm very sorry, we can't eat this food. Would you have something else, perhaps some fruit or something that we could eat?" He says, oh, sure, we have plenty of canned pears and peaches, canned fruit. Can I bring you that? He used to bring us whole big platters of canned food, peaches and pears and plums, and people saw that. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to be kosher. Because they couldn't eat. Nobody could eat. And this little boy was happy. And he had to be with the boys, with the men. So my husband kept him up there on top. And in the morning, they came down, because we were on the bottom, they were on, or no, we were on top and they were on the bottom. Came to me, I washed him, I took care of him, I went up and I gave him some food, some bread, and that breakfast they were able to eat. Anyway, make the story short, we arrived to New York. The kid wants to come only with me, screaming, crying. Somebody came to wait for him. I didn't know who it was either. My husband didn't know, but he saw some religious people with the beard and everything, and they said that they came from Rabbi Soloveitchik, the big Soloveitchik. That was the cousins or somebody's son. The kid didn't want to go. I had to tell him where I'm going, and promised if he doesn't like it there, he will come to me. And I gave him 1400 President Street, where Moskowitzes were waiting for us. Zoli Moskowitz was waiting by the boat. And that's how the kid left me. Quite some years later, we lived in Monsey already. One day the boy comes with a collar and invited me to his wedding. Story of my life.